Okay, 3:47 or 48 in the morning. I will. What can I talk about? Jesus Christ. I started with HDR, but it already looked like it was, day almost, so not really ideal. I will work on this, harness or whatever. I can delicately move like this and hold it, but this is not ideal. I don't know how it looks, and now it requires non-stop supervision because, yeah. If you see some kind of lens flare, no, the sun hasn't gone up yet. I will edit the heck out of it and show you the short version initially because. But maybe I will make like a time lapse. You can hear the birds already. And the crazy fact is that it will look like a day in a month from now. I remember in Krakow it's easy in June to go to the cafe at the evening and, you know, get out while it closes and never see the night. So it's such surreal experience. I know that it's normal for enormous amount of people. I know, but it's human curiosity. Human curiosity is a beautiful thing. Something that feels weird to me feels normal, entirely normal for someone else. Like, for example, people who never saw snow. When they see it for the first time, it's hard to believe. I remember that, for example, there were various stories about uh, various native people seeing white colonizers for the first time and how odd it must have felt. When I was a kid and saw a black person for the first time, it was surreal. Like, I was old enough that I knew how people looked, and there was a person that looked like people, but they looked completely different. So I hope it's once in a lifetime, in this case, once in a lifetime that I get to feel such, you know, profound feeling of something is completely different than I expected. But there are also healthier ways when this can happen, and one of those is when, night doesn't come or when it's very short. If someone has money or lives in northern Canada or somewhere, or Finland, northern Finland, or Sweden or Norway, yeah, you can experience. To me, just north to the the place where where the night doesn't come for 24 hours. That's not our place, or like Antarctica. That's not where the most of the magic is. That's that sort of becomes mundane. But close to it, when let's say that it's midnight and uh, you get a twilight, and then the sun sets for a moment, and then what? Half an hour later, you see another twilight, and the sun rises. So in between sun setting and sun rising, you had maybe 1.5 hours. Like, you had a night. You registered that you had a night. But it's so unbelievably short that your brain and reality, they have problem reconciling. Yes, of course, Jan had to start with crazy racist, some kind of take. I am not like. I'm just saying like I genuinely felt, okay? That's all I have to say about this. I'm not trying to hide anything or look better or something like this. What was the other first? The other firsts that were, they were less surreal because I already saw the sea on on the photos and even on the videos when I first saw the sea. But it was still quite a sight, especially since it was Baltic during the storm, so from the coast it feels infinite, but it feels like lethally angry. And it is lethally angry. But I can only imagine like people ah, before photos, before videos, people who get this moment of I am seeing something that is incomprehensible to me. In a way, we kind of lost it now, and that's not exactly a happy thought. But on the other hand, we can, share information, we can learn faster. So things have their ups and downs. It's just imagining that. Oh, I know other firsts that nothing prepared me for. The first time I went on the other side of the border. I know it sounds weird. Borders are made up and stuff like this. But the first time I went to Slovakia, and I illegally, by the way, crossed like 1 meter on the other side, and it felt like everything should be different. It felt like certain things were different. Logically, I knew that if I get caught, it would be by Slovak police, not by Polish police. But it was also remarkably the same. Remarkably different. Like it's hard to describe this. Like how very different it was. Different yet completely the same. Yeah, great. Start with talking about color of skin and now move to borders and stuff. Yes, I am. If I wasn't such a tiny, YouTuber, which is laughable to say, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a guy with few friends who watch his stuff. Then I would be cancelled. Jesus Christ. Even though I didn't say technically anything wrong. But yes, being in Slovakia, even though it was like 1 meter or a couple of meters, and knowing that in my mind that different sets of laws apply there, that I can walk a distance that a baby can walk, and that things change so drastically. It was incredible for me. Like it still is in a sense. Like whenever I cross the border, I feel a bit of that wonder. And I want to say that back then, at least, it was totally positive. It was an absolutely positive feeling. It was wonder in a good way. The bad way of thinking that came later, years later after that, thankfully. I am making a goddamn video about a goddamn morning. This is... Yeah, that's my hand, sorry. I just wanted, I don't know, the phone not to think that it was abandoned. Also, no, I wouldn't show myself on the... First of all, I'm way too ugly, and second of all, like, oh, yeah. I will wait until I have bajillion subscribers until I face reveal. Like I'm totally not in the in this, like in my profile picture. That's totally not me. That's someone else. Absolutely, I don't know that guy. Looks a bit meh, but still too good for me. So yeah, definitely not me. Yeah, it's about 4 a.m. and you can hear the nature being loud. I don't know, I will maybe do another 15 minutes and then enough, because like listen, I cannot talk for half an hour about interesting things. Like I've talked for 10 minutes and I managed to talk about 2 things that were could be taken in an incredibly bad way. Oh boy. I'm not what you call a people person. I would be people's person, but that would be communist. Yes, I know. Not invent jokes. Try not to invent any jokes. Should we try to trip YouTube safety algorithm? Yeah. Oh, let me say the magic word that will increase viewership here. AI. Okay. The channel that I put a second video on that other channel that I made up for Slop. I have to vet videos thoroughly so that it doesn't spread misinformation. I have like 10 videos ready and only more than 10 videos. And only 2 met the standards that they are not like complete. It's not that the other ones were bad, they were 90 to 95% of the time they were great, but yeah. Oh, just I had notification that Bell's video was up. That was notification from the Discord. So now you know exactly. It should be like 402 or something like this. If you are on Bell's Discord, then you know when it dropped exactly. I think like my channel will become very boring if all I do is show, you know, how nature goes insane in the morning. I am standing here and not leaving this phone because, you know, things like does or bats or whatever could smash into it. So, yeah. What was I talking about? Ah, yes, this other channel. Those 2 videos that are up, they are good, but making a video in which AI doesn't make a fumble, that's difficult. I will actually try to make a video because it allows you to make presentations and info, like also one sheet of paper that's full of information, and it's like has graphics and stuff. And when you put it in the highest density of information mode, it's clear that it still doesn't understand letters, because it renders different letters than it has. So it's either like old diffusion model. Should Google? Yeah, Google still technically, if I remember correctly, they still use diffusion, no, not transformer. So they are using like well, diffusion is also. So they are using CNNs. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that might be the reason why it's so imprecise for now. But I will also show you, like I will show you how when it made some good stuff, because it made, yeah. But some of the stuff is hilariously bad. And I mean it in a hilarious, in a funny way. Actually, funnily bad. If there are any people who believe that AI has sentience or has some kind of understanding, then you can show such a slide, and it will be obvious that it doesn't. Okay, what other topics can I talk about? No, those words would get me flagged. What else? Yeah, I could talk about this, but I forget the words. What's the angle? Angle of refraction, because we don't see the sun where it is. First of all, we see it where it was 8 minutes ago and 20 seconds. 8 minutes and 20 seconds ago on the average, because of the speed of light. But we also see further into the distance because the atmosphere allows it bends the light slightly, basically. So we see about 15% further than we should be able to, given the circumference of the Earth. And that mostly works on long distances, because on short distances, it's hard. First of all, it would be incredibly hard to notice, and then it could change a lot due to variability. Like, think ant near the ground. It would be a couple of millimeters of difference, and the temperature of the ground would have greater effect on what it would be able to see. And now this poorly made video will be a subject of some kind of flat earthers debate. I hope not. Jesus Christ. No, I hope not. Next time, if there will be next time, I will try to put the camera in a better place. I will have to get myself into a better place first, but yeah, okay, no jokes, okay. Is this the most boring video you've ever seen? Are you experiencing boredom? Then why don't you consider buying? Okay, no, but if you want to like, share and subscribe, but yeah. I don't know why you would share this. I guess it's a form of ASMR. I mean, nature is doing that, not me. You have some crazy person talking, but that's, you can tune that out. But nature is more annoying, so it's harder to tune out. I called nature more annoying than me. It's offensive to nature and not true. Okay, I have to stop before I start doing impressions or something. With my brain damage, I can't really do impressions anymore. I could try talking Scottish, but yes, no. I'm way too sober for this, and 10 years too old, 10 years too long of a brain damage. But I did once manage to convince a Welsh person that I was Scottish. That should tell you how good my English was and how good my mastery of, uh, you know, accents was. And yeah, of course, I don't think they thought I was a native Scotsman, but that I was like living in Scotland for a long time because my accent was, aligned. We used to joke that if you wanted to speak Scottish, you just had to, channel your inner Mel Gibson. And that was really offensive. No, I am bad at this. The problem with doing accents, you have to commit. You cannot half-ass like I am doing right now, because I am trying to be careful. I am trying to manage right. So the brain damage mostly it has two problems. It gives me motor issues with my tongue, so it's harder for me to speak and have a proper sound. And two, it's making thinking fuzzy, so it's harder to concentrate. I think I might add this beginning thing at the end. It was shot in HDR, but it will look basically like now. Because it gave like better contrast and stuff. So I'm just warning you that if at the end, if you somehow are watching 28 minutes in, if at the end you will see me talking hello and stuff like this, and the image would look basically like this, except the light will be more bright, then it will be me half an hour ago, about half an hour ago, because I had to restart everything, and it will be in 4K actually. So yeah, I'm doing this in full HD. I could have done this in 4K, but I didn't because I wanted. No, that's because I tried switching HDR on, but it conflicted with something else. So sorry, but this video is in full HD only. Besides, it's very difficult to film in 4K. Even Hexagon, Qualcomm's Hexagon AI unit cannot take care of this fully. Oh my god. But yeah, before Hexagon was AI unit, it was mostly, used for stuff like this. So for you stabilizing picture, for making sure that that videos are encoded on time and stuff like this, and also a lot of audio stuff. It still does it, just now they market it as AI something. So that video on the Slop channel that's about Hexagon, it's okay. Okay, we are half an hour in. And I'm sorry I talked so much about AI. We are like 15 or 16 or 17 minutes past 4 and I will stop. It's basically, it's not like a day now, but that's how, that's like in the middle of June. That's how light it would be at 3:30 a.m. That's what I talked about when I was talking like being in Krakow is spooky because you can enter in the evening and exit in the morning, and it's going to be only like 5 hours in between or less. Because yes, it's not full day, but yeah, I can see a couple of kilometers away, no problem. I don't need like flashlight or anything like this. Oh, and I will have to record for Cat Boss the other part of the how private medicine looks in Poland. Okay, I will now take this slowly. I hope you didn't see my face, because then I would have to blur it. And let me try to take you. How to safely remove this? Okay, I know. This is how I will do it. And if the picture looks stabilized enough, that was because of the stabilization. Okay. I will retain that format so you don't get dizzy. I will start walking home. You can see how much different it is. It's not exactly day, but it's... Besides, you see that stuff in the evening. It's normal, it's just like the sun, just like after sundown. Okay. Have a good night, and no, I won't attach like another minute of HDR or something. Maybe I will show it as a short. Okay, bye.